Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Senior Safety Advice Podcast, the show where we talk about simple, practical ways to stay safe, independent, and confident at home. I'm Esther Kane, a retired occupational therapist, a certified aging in place specialist, and a dementia care specialist. Come visit us at seniorsafetyadvice.com, subscribe here and on our YouTube channel, and please share this with someone who needs it. Today, we're picking out a walker for your parent, and I want to save you from buying the wrong one. And before we get into today's episode, if you're the one taking care of everybody else, I want you to know that I just published 3 volumes of the Stoic Caregiver books. This series of books are about staying steady when caregiving is anything but. Get your copy on Amazon or at thestoiccaregiver.com. And also subscribe to the Stoic Caregiver podcast for even more caregiving support. Okay, let's get into today's episode. Today's title is A Rollator is Not a Walker with Wheels, and that mix-up is sending people to the hospital. In case you don't know, a rollator is a four-wheeled walking aid with handlebars, brakes, and usually a built-in seat. Here's the belief I need to take apart, because it's behind most of the bad purchases of rollators. People think these devices go in a line. Cane, then walker, then the fancy walker with wheels and a seat. And the rollator looks like the deluxe model, so that's what the family buys. That's not what these are. They're not levels. They're different tools for different problems, and one of them is not the graduation prize. Here's the difference, and this is the most important sentence in this episode. A standard walker is something you lean on. A rollator is something you walk with. A rollator has 4 wheels. All 4 of them roll. If your mother puts real weight on it, if she's the kind of person who needs to lean or who catches herself on it when a knee gives out, that rollator can roll right out from underneath her. And she goes down, forward with nothing in her hands. So the question is never which one is nicer. The question is whether this person needs to bear weight or whether they mostly need balance and a place to rest. The other myth is that any walker beats no walker. Hey, I wish that were true. But a device that's the wrong height or too wide for the bathroom door doesn't get used. And one that rolls when it should hold can make things worse. This is one of the few places in home safety where doing it halfway is not better than nothing. Okay, let's talk about the 4 real choices. The standard walker is the one with 4 legs and no wheels. You pick it up, set it down, step to it. It is rock solid. Nothing moves unless you move it. That's the one for maximum weight bearing, and it's common after a hip or a knee. The trade-off is that lifting it takes shoulder strength and walking gets slow and choppy. The 2-wheel walker has wheels on the front legs and glides on the back. You push, it rolls forward, and the back legs grip when you press down. Honestly, this is the workhorse. It gives you most of the stability of a standard walker with none of the lifting, and for a lot of people who need real support around the house, this is the right answer. It's also the least glamorous one in the catalog, which is why nobody buys it. The rollator is the 4-wheeler with handbrakes and a seat. This one is for the person who walks reasonably well but runs out of gas, who can get down the driveway but not around the grocery store. The seat isn't a luxury. For the right person, the seat is the whole point, because it means they can go places again. But it requires enough hand strength and enough coordination to work the brakes, and it is not for leaning. And the 4th choice, don't skip past this one, is that a walker may not be what they need yet. Sometimes it's a cane, sometimes it's a course of physical therapy, because the balance problem is fixable, and a walker would just paper over it. Which brings me to the part I can't say strongly enough. I can tell you what these devices are. I can't tell you which one your parent needs, and neither can a website. That is a decision for a physical therapist or an occupational therapist who watches them actually walk. A doctor can order that evaluation. It is usually covered, it usually takes 1 visit, and it is the single best hour you can spend on this. Now here's where the advice flips. And I need family caregivers to really hear this one. For most people, the rollator is the device that gives them their life back. For a person living with dementia, the rollator is often the most dangerous thing in the house. It comes down to the brakes. Using a rollator seat safely requires a sequence. Stop, squeeze both brake levers, push them down until they click and lock, turn around, then sit. That's 5 steps in the right order, every single time. And it has to be remembered under fatigue, which is exactly when somebody wants to sit down. When that sequence goes, what happens is that a person turns around and sits on a seat that is free to roll. And it does. So when memory is changing, a standard or two-wheel walker is very often the safer choice, even though it looks like a step backward. Steady beats clever here, the same as it is with lighting. If a rollator is still the right fit for other reasons, ask a therapist about the kind with reverse brakes. Those are the ones that roll when you squeeze and stop when you let go, which means letting go is the safe thing instead of the dangerous thing. That one design change removes almost the entire problem. Segment 5, Money, Medicare, and not buying it twice. So let's talk about paying for this because there's a trap in it. Medicare generally treats walkers and rollators as durable medical equipment, so it may cover part of the cost when a doctor documents that it's medically necessary and you use a supplier that takes Medicare. Rules change, so check with the doctor's office or with Medicare directly. But here's what people don't find out until it's too late. Medicare generally expects equipment like this to last for years. So if you buy the wrong one now, you may be stuck with it, or paying for the right one yourself. That's the real argument for getting the therapist evaluation first. It isn't caution, it's money. And before you buy anything at all, call your area agency on aging and ask if there's a loan closet in your county. A lot of places have them, and almost nobody knows. You can often borrow a walker for free for a few weeks, which means your parent gets to try one before you commit to it. That is worth more than every product review on the internet. So here's what I'd love for you to do this week. If there's already a walker in the house, go look at the handles. Stand your parent up next to it, arms loose, and see where those handles land against their wrist. If they're low, and they usually are, the adjustment is a button on each leg, and it takes about 90 seconds. You may find that the device everybody's been arguing about for 6 months was simply set wrong. And if there's no walker yet, don't start with a shopping cart. Start with one phone call to the doctor asking for a therapy evaluation for a mobility device. Because the goal was never to get a walker into the house. The goal is your mother walking into the kitchen, out to the mailbox, into her friend's living room, on her own feet, with something steady in her hands. Get the right one, it's worth the extra week. Now, before you go, do one thing for yourself today. Go to thestoiccaregiver.com and pick up The Stoic Caregiver. It's my book series for the person who's holding everything together, the one nobody checks on. It's on Amazon, and there's a podcast to go with it. You take care of everyone. Let this one be for you. thestoiccaregiver.com. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It really means a lot. If you'd like more practical tips and resources, come visit us at seniorsafetyadvice.com. And if you're looking for a professional to help your family age in place safely, you can find one at aginginplacedirectory.com. Please subscribe to the podcast and to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. Take good care of yourself, take good care of each other, and I'll see you next time. This is Esther Kane.